Hello and welcome to another edition of Fort Wayne Up Close. Today is a special edition, a special occasion, not just because I got a superstar in the making and I've been working on him, probably for about 10 years, he finally made it. And y'all know I'm going to call out all the other young guns, but it actually is special too. Today is my birthday, 7/7. I'm here on my birthday. I wouldn't have came in for anybody other than my nephew because I know, look, been trying to get him on, like I said. But you guys all know how we get down at OMV. And at Fort Wayne Up Close, we like to highlight what goes on in the Southeast side. We like to highlight the business adventures. We like to highlight the people who've made it. That's why we want to bring this young man on. He has walked some of the same path that a lot of our young and upcoming athletes are walking. And he has walked those steps, and he has thrived beyond anybody's expectations. So with that said, Mr. Jaylon Smith, it's great to welcome you.
What's up, Unc? Hey, happy birthday, Unc. I'm happy to be here, man.
Appreciate it. Glad to get you. Now, I like when I get guys on, to just, like I talked about, that footprint, walking that path. You came up, Prince Chapman, then you went to Bishop Lewis. And even before I had you hit on Bishop Lewis, I would have known because I never got this answer. You was at Prince Chapman. We had Rod, your brother. How we ain't get you at Harding? So tell us about that. Let's hear the process that went on.
How real can we be?
As real as this is what we get.
Right
we all
on,
grown,
right on,
grown, all this
right
people
on.
want to know.
So, I grew up on the southeast side of town. I'm a Heston Castle, Village Woods, baby, And the whole deal about me was wanting to play with my brothers, wanting to play with my guys, So, playing for the Outreach Rams and us winning Super Bowls under Tom Macon, going to Prince Chapman, winning the city title with Bruce Stevens, and then the biggest thing was like, okay, what are we going to do next? So I'm playing with Mike Rogers, Kendrick Mullen, Andrew Spencer, Tyvell Jemison. We're all playing and growing up together. So we're like, okay, do we go to Paul Harding, where my brother and his crew, Diamond Lyman, all those guys are about to be seniors? Or do we go somewhere else and try to make a name for ourselves early? So right down the street, you got a Catholic high school in Bishop Lewis, and I didn't really grow up around white people. I probably had four white people in my class, going to Village Elementary and then Prince Chapman. So I kind of wanted that culture shock of like understanding like what the world's about, So me getting a chance to, and my mom, by the grace of her, she allowed me to make my decision.
Okay.
She actually wanted me to go to Northside, which I'm the assistant head coach over at Northside right now.
We ain't getting no plug from the show, man.
I'm just saying. But for me, it was like, I'm going to take my own path. Now, I would say that we would have all chose to go to Paul Harding if Tom Macon was the head coach at Paul Harding.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's another inside kicker as to why we didn't.
Coach Macon wasn't coaching Bishop Lewis.
He wasn't, but I'm saying the aspect of being around Catholic people, understanding just the different world dynamics of like communicating and navigating through this world. I knew it wasn't all black centric, so that's what made the decision for me to choose Bishop Lewis. And then all of my guys, we all made the decision together, and we went there 4 state titles later.
There you go. Yeah, did you
put on.
Okay, now the other thing too at Bishop Lewis, you played multiple sports for a couple of years, and that's something else we talk about often on our show. And today, a lot of guys in this specialization piece.
Yes.
And, Rod Woodson, one of the best athletes that's ever, been through Fort Wayne. All that they see.
He's the pinnacle. Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
There
Rod
you
Woodson.
go. Bam. And I'll call him up, and even I coached at Bishop Lewis, and I have guys ain't gonna go out their senior year, they gonna concentrate on football, and some of them, it's like I don't get it because I know what I'm bringing to the table, and there's that competitive piece to it, and there's always time to work on football.
Absolutely.
So, how do you feel about multiple sports stars? And like I said, when it came time, you actually made that decision. We're winning today.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is interesting for me because like I grew up a multi-sport athlete, and I grew up playing with James Blackman Jr., with Brendan Bryson Scott, like I said, Kendrick, Mike Rogers. We all were on this.
Yeah,
Austin Hatch before the injury. You know, before the crash, we had an all-star team that we all grew up playing together. But for me, everybody knew of me as the football player that's gonna make it in the league, but I'm out here on this court earning my respect too because it's a basketball state. We're in the basketball state of Indiana.
Yeah.
Now, we have been playing together since the 5th grade. Well, the 8th grade is when all of my skills on the basketball court clicked in. So we're going against each other on playing Y ball, and I'm scoring 20 points versus 30 points versus the Twins, but we losing by 30. So I ended up not playing for James Blackman Sr. and the Gym Rats. I ended up playing with Next Level. When Anthony Spencer had a travel team.
I was a part of them. Yes,
we actually was right over here practicing and stuff too. But so we formed a team. I ended up joining the team, and then we ended up dominating. It was one game we ended up beating the Twins and all of them. So for me, it was like playing basketball. I wanted them to know that just because I'm dominant on the football field, you're going to get my respect on this court too. So my junior year of high school, Northrop versus Bishop Lewis, me, James Blackman.
Yeah.
Junior versus the Twins, right?
Yes, sir. Brendan Bryson.
So Brendan Bryson. So Brian Kelly, which is my head coach at Notre Dame at the time, he comes to the game. It's a doubleheader, sold out game at Lures.
Pack.
And I went for 36 on them and with a victory. Almost dunked on somebody and everything. So from there, it was like, it solidified, okay, y'all ain't got no choice but to respect me on this court too. So I feel like I had accomplished, and I got a chance to play with Diesel my freshman year. We didn't win a state title. I wanted to. I knew if we went back my senior year, we would have a great chance to.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, I want to be so much more than a great football player. I want to be so much more than just a great athlete. So I made the decision to not play my senior year, to focus on developing to get ready for that next level, because I knew I had a great chance to start as a freshman, but also I knew I wasn't going to be able to work in college. So this was prior to NIL. I got a chance to work at Burger King, to learn how to serve people, learn how to put smiles on people's faces, the importance of serving and caretaking when it comes to the food industry. And then from there, I doing a lot of research. I learned about Junior Bridgman, rest in peace, who was a world-class athlete, but he only made, he amassed over $700 million, and only 2% of that had to do with him playing in the NBA back in the 80s.
Yeah.
He built his wealth off of becoming a restaurateur with Chili's and Wendy's and all of these different things. So that sparked my interest in getting the firsthand experience of being able to work in a service like that.
Yeah.
And now I'm here on Wednesday in a couple of days about to open up, my first Japanese ramen cuisine.
Now, hold on. So you speeding up. Hold on. I got you looking slow. You look fast forward.
Yeah.
But hey, that's heck of insight. So you said you read about Junior Bridgman when you was in high school?
In high school.
Man,
in high school.
And to elaborate what he's talking about, Junior Bridgman played professional basketball. He played in the NBA. Junior Bridgman, I want to say, is a Hall of Famer. If he wasn't a Hall of Famer, he's on that fringe. Played for the Bucks, who actually worked in the offseason in fast food restaurants
to learn about
the industry. So you had that insight, man. I'm impressed, bro.
And I regret not playing my senior year. If I could go back in time, I would have came back after, because I played in the Army All-American game. I was a 5-star and everything, and the Army All-American game was played in Texas right around Christmas time, holiday season type of time. So if I could go over, if I could do it over, I would have came back after the holiday. You know what I mean? And finished the rest of this. But I may not have gotten that experience in working in Burger, and I probably would, you know what I'm saying? Who knows where that would have taking my entrepreneurial spirits in that aspect. So
no question.
It's one of them things.
You put a monkey wrench in, everything that I say, but honestly, not really, because you had a plan. Because there's so many people that says, I'm going to focus on
they don't have a plan.
They don't have no plan.
No, you can't do that without no plan.
Thank you.
You can't. And then another aspect of it was, okay, I don't want to risk injury. But like multiple sports, it helps you. Puts your body in different positions for when it's time and you get caught in that position. Okay, well, I play basketball, so my ankle may have been here. So I think all of that translates well. And then on top of, I didn't get hurt in high school.
Yeah.
Which I started as a freshman All-American, all of that. But shit, my last college game, the inevitable happened. So it's like in hindsight. Man, God he got it all planned out.
Oh, no question. And now there you go. Now we good. We're going to go to Notre Dame. You're right. We got you through Lures. You at Notre Dame, prestigious school. Obviously, you had the wherewithal. You talked about wanting to better yourself, basically becoming a more well-rounded person. That's what you use Lures for. Now you done went to basically the Mecca from a Catholic school. You going to Notre Dame. And, with that Notre Dame degree, period, whether, football or not, once you graduate with that Notre Dame degree, you get assigned your own ticket.
Absolutely.
But talk to us about your career at Notre Dame. What was that like? You walking through the Golden Dome, man. You hitting that side. And, man, talk to us, man. Tell us about Notre Dame.
It was definitely full Rudy moment for sure. Watching the movie and going to a Catholic high school, I had about 40 different college offers. But when Notre Dame offered me, the entire school lit up. Principal called me into the principal's office, Mary Kiefer, all of these different things. And I'm like, why are y'all so excited about me getting an offer from Notre Dame? I think they were like my 7th offer.
Yeah.
Well, I visited and I came back and I said, okay, I understand. It makes sense. And what it boils down to is surrounding yourself and putting yourself in the right environment where you can grow and flourish. And I'm a very relationship oriented guy. I understand the value of a relationship and what that can do, both in life, in business, in sports. The value of a relationship matters. So me picking a university like that, I knew that I was going to be able to have the platform to not only let my light shine and my athletic abilities and all of these different things, but I would be able to create relationships that would last a lifetime. Even in my class, Corey Robinson was David Robinson's son. We went to school together and played together at the same time. Torrey Hunter Sr.'s son, Torrey Hunter Jr., we played together. We enrolled together at the same time. The global legend John Bon Jovi, his son Jesse Bon Jovi, we enrolled and played together. So I'm getting a little kid out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm getting a chance to be immersed with all of this different legacy. And you see it now in the Notre Dame tradition. You see all of these former athletes or moguls that they're encouraging their sons and daughters to choose Notre Dame. It's a reason why. So to be a part of that is wonderful.
Yeah. I think of the Golick family too when you talk about that. I live loaded.
Absolutely.
But so you at Notre Dame, you doing your thing. I mean, second team All-American, then you first team All-American senior year. You projecting again, everybody y'all know me on the show. I'm not just going off what I know on the radio. I got football insiders that be here telling me you about to be number 1 pick. You about to get paid. You, man, next thing is sliced bread. And tell us what happened in that bowl game, man. You alluded to it, but tell us. Second drive of the game. I suffered an ACL, LCL injury. And peroneal nerve damage. Peroneal nerve damage gave me drop foot. So drop foot is I couldn't lift my foot up directly after the injury. And when it happened, I got pushed at the end of the play. The whistle was blown. And as athletes, we're taught to stay off the ground. So me being so athletic, I caught myself instead of just falling. But when I caught myself, I hyperextended my knee and boom.
And what I was thinking at first was like, why now? You know, like you said, about to be a projected top 3 pick in the draft, had everything lined up. Actually, my agent at the time, rest in peace, Eugene Parker,
Yes, sir.
he flew out to Arizona because I was going to have dinner with Larry Fitzgerald, who he was representing that evening. When I got hurt, he was there. He came to that MRI with me while he was sick. You know, I was his last client prior to him passing. You know, and from the time I was 11 years old, you know, well, me and my brother always knew who our agent was going to be because Eugene, his aunt, is our grandmother. So
Yeah.
we knew. But just being able to experience that injury was like, the first thing I was thinking was just like why now? Out of all this time, you know, you do a SWOT analysis, you know, you understand your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. You know, I knew that one of my threats was injury.
Yeah.
I just was hoping that it didn't happen.
But you an athlete. The caliber you at, you superhuman. It's not gonna happen to you. That's how you got to do it. Yeah.
So but that was the experience with me, man. And the doctors, when I got into the locker room, the doctors was like just shaking their head. One doctor was crying. I'm like, what's wrong? Because in my mind, the year prior, Todd Gurley had suffered an injury.
Yeah.
And he ended up, his injury was like in October, but it was a routine ACL. He ended up going first round still. I think he was like the 10th or 11th pick.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, this ACL, my hard work, determination, I'm going to come back from this. But the doctor's shaking their head like, man, you may not ever play the game again. I'm like, what? How did I've accomplished all of these things, and I get to my final collegiate game prior to entering the draft and my dream coming true, and then God is like, okay, hold on, you got to sit down, you know?
Yeah.
And the fear of unknown was, I couldn't let it get to me because I knew if I doubted myself at all, you know, it would be a chance that I may never play again. For real, I had to beat the odds.
Gotcha. And that's what I love, man. Hey, I'm sitting there, like I said, I done learned about you, your insightfulness and
Intuitiveness.
There you go. Intuitiveness. You know, thank you, my brother. But in addition to that, man, when we talk about redemption, perseverance, you know, getting that. Tell us, with all that, you end up getting drafted by who?
The Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys, and I ended up dropping out of the first round. I was the 3rd pick of the 2nd round, and I mean the beautiful thing about it was the Cowboys is our dad's favorite team. My older brother Rod Smith he had just finished his rookie season on the Cowboys, so dream come true, family dream. We get to play. You know, my dad, 2 of his sons playing for his favorite team. You know, we got to play together for 3 years. So that was a beauty in it all. And that wouldn't have happened. I would have probably got drafted to the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Los Angeles, you know, Chargers or something had I been the top, you know, a top 3 pick or whatever. So because the Cowboys, they were drafting Zeke. You know, me and Zeke, Dak, we all came in the same class, and the Cowboys had the 4th overall pick. So I mean, I would have been somewhere else, but by the grace of God, I got to do that. You know, so
there it is.
And I still live in Dallas too. Still live. I'm back and forth. You know.
Okay. So what was it like, America's team, man? We had, you know, Big Flozell has been on the show, talked a little bit about, you know, and like you said, Eugene, Dion was a regular in Fort Wayne. So I mean, I heard a lot of Cowboy stories and things, but again, like you said, that's America's team. You know, growing up, you either like the Cowboys, the Steelers, had a couple of Raiders fans, you know, a few Broncos, but so everybody don't get to play for the Cowboys. Talk to us a little bit about your experience, because then you was there, you played. So when we talk about you, the redemption part, you played at a high level, doing your thing.
The biggest thing with playing for America's team is just understanding that the spotlight is always on you.
There you go.
The media, at the grocery store, it's a global entity. It's a reason why, you know, the Cowboys are an $11 billion, you know, company, the most valued franchise in any sport. But for me, I got a chance to play for 2 of the 3 marquee institutions. You got Notre Dame in college.
Yes, sir.
You got the Cowboys in football, and then you got the New York Yankees. So me getting the chance to have 2 of those fan bases forever ingrained in me is a wonderful experience. Playing in Dallas, there's so much rich history and tradition that all you want to do is you want to do your part in making sure you're adding value to the name that's on your back, the jersey number that you're wearing, because there's so many legends that wore the number 54 prior to before me.
Randy White.
Yep. Chuck Howley. So that was big for me. And then the biggest thing was I wanted to make sure Jerry Jones got his return on his investment because he took a risk on me. He really did. He took a risk on me, and it was my job to make sure that he got his ROI, and he did.
Okay,
he did, for sure.
Yeah, beautiful. Now we done walked through. We came. We're gonna go back to you talked about your grand opening, and we talked about Notre Dame because not only was you a superstar on the field, we see what kind of head you have. What kind of head you got on your shoulders. You talked about your entrepreneurial spirit. You got investments and businesses, all kind of things going on. Mm-hmm. So start with your grand opening or start with whatever you want to tell everybody about what you got going on, man. Another thing I know you love, you give back. You about helping your community.
Absolutely.
So let's touch base on that.
For me, anything that I do in business, I like to partner with the right experts that can help me accomplish, what I want. Because being a professional athlete, you have to have a supporting cast and team around you so where you can keep the main thing. So for me, having an eyewear line that I started 7 years ago, partnering with a guy by the name of Jamal Robinson, who's a Fort Wayne guy, graduated from Concordia, but 13 years of experience in the eyewear industry, able to add value, but we have value alignments as far as what our core values. We created Clear Eye View, the CEV collection. I started the Cycle Management Group, which is a life insurance agency about a year ago. Okay. And that was all in efforts to help close the economic and educational gap that exists. In the Black community, we don't really learn about life insurance policies at home. A lot of our people don't even have policies put in place, and as you know, someone died in the family, or a loved one or a friend, and having to start GoFundMe's and having to have that pass the hat mentality where everybody got to chip in to give your loved one a proper burial. That could be very weighing. But if you got a policy put in place, you understand it is taken care of. You're getting that payout within 3 business days of that death. Being able to leave your family. To where they don't have to start at zero if you're educated enough and you take the right actions to protect yourself. So my biggest thing with starting the Cycle Management Group was helping educate our people in Indiana, but our people all throughout the world. Correct. And then from there, helping create jobs. My mission is to help create 100 millionaires. And you can build a lot of wealth through life insurance. Because it requires the same, and it requires the same type of things that we learn playing the game of football, basketball, any type of sport. The teamwork, the accountability, the chemistry, the compassionate accountability, the being a man or woman of your word. These are all tools that are required to work in the life insurance industry. And you also have the ability to work remote. That's what we love about it. We operate out of a virtual office, but you can walk in year one with the right work ethic and execution plan, and you can come out making $125,000 in year one with the metrics that we have. So providing that opportunity with the opportunity and impact with the Cycle Management Group. And then we talked a lot about restaurants, right? So me becoming a restaurateur, my first endeavor is I'm opening a Japanese ramen cuisine called Jinya Ramen Bar. We have like 65 locations throughout domestic right now, throughout the country. and we're going to grow to about 300, 350. And I'm building out Indiana, actually. I have an amazing partner in Jim Wang, who's got 13 different restaurant concepts, over 30 years of industry, and over 30 years in the restaurant industry. He's had a company go public and everything. I'm learning from the experts, that can help teach me, but also mitigate the risk, right? So first location is opening up on Notre Dame's campus this Wednesday, actually. In 2 days, we're looking forward to it. Everybody loves ramen when it's cold. Everybody loves soup when it's cold. Different multicultural balances and things. So I'm super excited about it. And I'm excited to be here with you, Aunt. I just left your niece, man. I just left her. She had just woke up from a nap, so I was playing around with her, and I had to make sure I got here to chop it up with you.
Well, good. Like I say, it's been a pleasure, and I'm glad you have made it. Now, answer me this. Now, I know you were with Las Vegas.
Yes.
What's going on there? Was that to get a look?
So,
are you on the team? What's going on?
So I was actually I was already headed to Vegas for a business event. So my life insurance agency is filtered under Globe Life. They're partnered with Globe Life, which is the #1 life insurance agency in all of North America. They're actually, Warren Buffett's an original investor. They're actually based out of Dallas and Waco, Texas. That's how I got introduced to the CEO and the president. I got to learn how they built their wealth, and then boom, I started my own agency. Personally recruited by the president and CEO. So that's awesome. In Globe Life, we are the official life insurance agency for the Dallas Cowboys, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Atlanta Braves, the Texas Rangers, and FC Dallas soccer as well. But my biggest thing was, okay, how do I have real impact? How do I have real lasting impact? I like to do things that interest me, but I can also have impact as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay. Look, see, so that's what we talking about. Putting that Notre Dame degree, the connections, everything that you said, man. You talk about a plan. Raj, mom, y'all did good. That's all I'm gonna say. They did good. And you mentioned Raj. Don't you guys got a baby brother too that's doing this thing.
Yes.
Go ahead, brag on baby brother a little bit.
Man, I got so many siblings. I got a baby brother that right now that's a rising junior at Northside High School, defensive end. He's next up. I got a brother that's younger than him. That's he's our hooper in the family. He's the baby. His name is Landon. He's at Miami middle school right now.
Okay.
Going into the 8th grade. Man, we got a bunch of different things going on. My little sister just had a boy, so I got a nephew. So it's just a lot. It's a lot of different moving things, joining your family, I've been at a lot of functions in the past 12 months, man. He throw down. He throw down. He do it. So
hey, we do a little something.
You got your one. You just had your 1 year.
Yeah. We had a 1 year anniversary. Yes, sir.
Man.
No, I appreciate that. Love it. But see what you don't know too. See your dad. Hey, we go back and hey, Roger
on that court.
There you go. And what's so funny about you and Rod being football players, your daddy built like y'all. Shoot nothing but jumpers. That left-handed jumper. Hey, Rod, if I'm lying, I'm crying. You probably think I'm laughing when you hear that. But yeah, I always been a nice guy, gentleman. So when he raises some gentlemen, it not nothing surprising. Because he always been a class act. Even when we was kids. And Raj, I think Raj a year or two older than me. But Raj, was more like, my daddy or my uncle. Somebody, we the same age, but he was that grown man. Always had the big car. Like, I'm taking my belt off, whoop you, boy. But, but always, man, always was a great guy. And I always appreciate, you and Rod, obviously, like I said, got a chance to coach Rod. Rod came with a Hardy, so he's a part of that family. While she was a young man, because like you said, next level, Spencer and them, I was with Tanya Lapsley and them, and kind of helping behind the scenes and coach the team. We was up under you guys. The youngest. So when y'all was rolling over, like I said, a lot of that stuff you was talking about, I was right there. Yeah, I was watching,
witnessing.
There you go.
A beautiful thing. It was crazy. I just ran into Speezy, to Anthony a couple days ago at the airport.
Oh,
Actually.
really? Okay.
Both heading to Dallas.
Okay.
And I was thanking him. For that.
Yeah.
You know, because that was a unique experience.
No
and
question.
he's like, man, well, I wish we could have had a couple more years at it, man. But it was definitely a great run.
It was.
Sure.
I wish they could have. It was a good program. And he got some entrepreneurial stuff going on too. I know he's got a little thing here.
He's got a hot work.
Hot works. Yeah.
He's got his own water that he's franchising. He's doing his thing for sure.
I was out there. I get a chance to go by the store. I was out there. Yeah. Sure enough. All right, but hey, man, it's been a pleasure having you on. It's a long time coming. Now, this is the part where, hey, I call out, Jesse, you still ain't here. Yeah, I got you, coach. Yeah, fam. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Trey, you done let Jaylon beat you. Trey going to be in town this week. Trey, we don't see you this week, man. Hey, I don't know what to tell you. But Jaylon to beat you. Hey, Rod, you still on too. Rod, big bruh.
Yeah.
And I told you my goal, I wanted to get all three of y'all on here. And we talked.
We can make it happen.
Okay.
We can make it happen.
Get that done.
We can make it happen.
Definitely, man. It's been a pleasure. And all you folks out there, this is what we're talking about. Again, ONV, the 6th District Coalition. We're showing you Southeast side, we can thrive over here. We got people trying to build it up when we talk about businesses and bringing development and economics. But we talking about our quality athletes, keeping stuff in-house where they can train, they can make it. When you talk about student athletes, this is the epitome of a student athlete. Got his degree, played at the highest level possible, and started out, had a plan, utilized, worked this plan all the way throughout to right now. We're watching a 30-year-old young man do his thing, and he used his sport. He didn't allow his sport to use him. Mm-hmm. This is a model. We're glad to have him on. Thank you once again. Fort Wayne Up Close, ONV.